What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JB from the Zeal Cigar Review, and today we're going to be talking about a cigar company that, in my personal opinion, is not only one of the best boutique cigar companies on the market right now, but it's also one of the best cigar companies for newer smokers to explore. And we're going to be talking about these Patina cigars all next on the Zeal Cigar Review. Apparently I got to go find them. I thought they were still in the bag. Be right back. All right, so apparently I left all these Patina cigars in the light box because I was taking pictures of them. But you know, they got 4 blends that are core line. Amazing cigars, beautiful bands, kind of an homage to Lady Liberty with the little crown on the band. But I'm a huge fan of Patina cigars, and we'll kind of go through a little bit about them here in a second. But I want to kind of grab the cigar that I'm going to be smoking and kind of telling you guys about today while we talk about Patina cigars and who they are. Now, the cigar that I wanted to smoke today is the Habano. And the reason I wanted to smoke this Patina Habano is because this is the first cigar that me and Brad were introduced to by this company. And we were both sitting in the lounge smoking this together, and both of us were blown away and thoroughly enjoyed smoking this Habano. And I kind of wanted to revisit that. I haven't smoked this cigar for years probably. And I'm really excited to kind of revisit it and see how it tastes. And in the meantime, kind of tell you guys a little bit more about the company Patina and these other cigars that are sitting on the table. But in order to do that, you know what we got to do. We got to take this Habano and we got to cut, light, and smoke. Yo, I'm all kinds of goofed up today. I don't even have a cutter. Because I'm too lazy to get my butt up and go find a cutter, we're going to do the old knife here. Now, normally if I do this, I like to just try to grab where the cap is kind of looking like there's a good spot to grab it. And then I just kind of make my way around the top here, kind of like if I'm punching it. Not the most beautiful cut in the world, but here's that Patina Habano before we get it all lit up. Beautiful cigar. Now, this Patina Habano is an Ecuadorian Habano. It's got a binder of Nicaraguan and fillers of Nicaragua and Pennsylvania. So you already know with the word Pennsylvania that this cigar is right up my alley. Anything that's got those broadleaf tobaccos in it, San Andreas tobaccos, those are right up my alley. Brazilian, broadleaf, Brazilian, San Andreas, you're pretty much in my book. Very pleasant on the retrohale right off the first light. Little bit of woodiness, some sweetness. Not a lot of spice or pepper yet though. Very pleasant at first light. I can see why when I smoked this the first time, why I enjoyed it. This is gonna be a very smooth smoke, I can already tell. One of those ones you could smoke any time of the day, whether it's with coffee, with bourbon, or just in your midday. You know, you're taking a break from everything in the middle of the day and you just need to sit down and smoke a cigar. You don't want anything too light or too heavy. This is gonna hit that right in the middle. Now, Patina Cigars isn't really that new. They've been around since 2016, which is almost 10 years at this point. And it was founded by a gentleman named Mo. I'm not gonna try to say his last name because I'm gonna screw it up. But Mo was a passionate cigar enthusiast who used to work for an online retailer called Mambacho? Screwed that up too. Apparently it was an online retailer, and then he decided to launch Patina Cigars for himself. Now, if you guys know anything about the word patina, normally you would hear that on something like a paint job on a car or some sort of antique. It has that patinaed look to it, you know what I mean? It's got a little bit of rust, a little bit of paint wearing off, a little bit of that age, you know. You can see the years on that, whatever it is, the metal, the car, the toy, right? You can see the life that it's had when you see the patina on it. So when you think of something being patinaed, you think of a person, a car, whatever, you're seeing the age and the life that it's been through and the elements and how they've affected that thing as it's gone through its life cycle. So Patina, obviously, kind of an homage to that. Kind of an homage to the way that cigars are, the way it grows, the way it's cultivated, the way it's hung and dried in the barn, the way that it's fermented, the way that it's rolled, the way that it's blended. You know, these are all methods that have been done the same way for years and years and years, and in a way might be a little patinaed because they haven't gotten that sand down to the bare minimum and repaint job. Because it's such a unique art form, there's not a lot that can and will be changed at the core of what a cigar is and how it's made. Now, the core lineup has the first one gonna be the Connecticut, Ecuadorian Connecticut, Nicaraguan binder, and Pennsylvania broadleaf and Nicaraguan fillers. That cigar is creamy, little bit of pepper. It's not a mild Connecticut. It steps it up just a little bit. So if you're somebody that doesn't typically enjoy those lighter, airy Connecticut's, that Connecticut is definitely going to be the one for you. And then we have the Habano, which I already kind of explained to you guys. Ecuadorian Habano, Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan and Pennsylvania fillers. Then we've got the Maduro. The Maduro is a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not smoking that one, right? Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan and Pennsylvania fillers. This one's gonna be a little bit more medium to full. Still though, still a cigar that I believe I could give to a first-time smoker. And then last but not least is the newest one to their lineup, and that's gonna be the Sumatra by Patina. Now that's got an Ecuadorian Sumatra Oscuro. Super interesting. Ecuadorian, Sumatran seed, Oscuro, which means it was picked a little bit early. Very interesting cigar. Connecticut broadleaf binder, and then it's got that same Pennsylvania broadleaf and Nicaraguan fillers. So all these cigars in a little bit of the same fashion are kind of similar in blend profile on each one of them. Very pleasant cigar to smoke. Little bit of spice kind of tingles the tongue in the back of the palate, but it's very light. Not a peppery spice, not a burny spice, more like a nutmeggy, like an allspice. One of the few brands I could honestly say, maybe outside of the Sumatra, but one of the few brands that I could give one of these fresh packs to, and I would say a newer smoker could smoke all of those and probably not be offended by any of those cigars. They would probably enjoy every single one of them in the batch. Another thing I'll say about Patina cigars is they're very consistent. I've smoked quite a few of these, and I've never really had an issue with them. I've never really had one of them smoke, you know, and not taste like it's supposed to taste. I've never had them really burn any weird. I've never had draw issues. Typically a very, very consistent cigar in the way that it's made and the way that it tastes. Big fan of Patina cigars. This is actually a brand I've wanted to have on hand here for a very long time and haven't been able to get it yet. Now we got a little sampler of them, but it took some time. There's such a pleasant, like, woody sweetness on the retrohale on this Habano that makes you want to come back into the cigar for more. It's a very, very enjoyable cigar to smoke, as are all of their cigars. What's crazy is how few people have heard of them, and they've been around since 2016, which is why I wanted to do this video. I think more people need to hear about these cigars because they're very good. Now, typically, in order to be a boutique cigar company, you have to manufacture under a certain amount of cigars every year. I don't remember that number off the top of my head. I would say that Patina is probably one of those companies that definitely manufactures under that number of cigars a year. And there's some brands that are still considered kind of boutique-y that I think have outgrown their shoes. For example, like my father. My father for sure makes more cigars than what it is that can be considered boutique. And if they don't, I would be incredibly surprised. That's a brand that absolutely just went nuts. And sometimes that happens, right? Like, I guess if you're a boutique cigar company, you have a big choice to make, right? Do you stay boutique and just make it so that your stuff's not available? Or do you grow to scale and you just start producing more of your product and then you're no longer considered a boutique cigar company? That's a really good question. I would love to ask, somebody that owns one of these smaller boutique cigar companies about that, right? Like, is it more beneficial for you to stay as a boutique cigar company and continue to generate the hype and the excitement around your cigars when they're available? Or do you take the adventure and grow to scale to meet the demand and continue to grow the business and no longer become a boutique company? It's a really interesting thing to think about. I'm getting on a lot of rants on this video, but these are things I'm really curious about, right? With a boutique cigar company, when it comes to the point to make the decision of, do we continue to limit how many of our cigars we make, which in some aspects is a really good decision because then you can kind of control the consistency as you go a little bit further, like, as far as the tobacco being available, and if you have a bad year and if you don't have enough tobacco, you don't have to source it from somewhere else and change your blend. So that makes me wonder, is it more beneficial to stay boutique-y or to grow and expand and meet the demand? You guys let me know in the comments. I'm going to step away and smoke this Patina Habano down a little bit more and tell you guys more about it as I smoke through the second third. All right, everybody, so we're back here with this Patina Habano, and we're doing the Kevin Shahan from Cigar Prop here, where we try to smoke the band of cigars. I always love when he posts pictures of that. He's like literally smoking the band. I'll tell you what though, that glue came off super easy when it gets that hot, that close. That's for darn sure. Well, what can I tell you about this Patina Habano? Other than It's a really good cigar. It does tend to pick up on spice a little bit as it gets into the final third and at the end of that second third, middle of the second third a little bit. But I would still stand by what I said earlier. I would say Patina is a brand that a newer smoker would want to venture into just for the sake of trying something really consistent, really good, really smooth, not overpowering, but still going to get some really, really complex flavors out of these cigars, or they can at least attempt to try to grab some of these complex flavors out of the cigars without the cigar being too offensive in one way or another. The primary notes that I'm getting off the cigar are going to be a little bit of sweetness, some wood, a little bit of some like earthiness. It's got a little bit of a dryness to the cigar. It makes you want to keep drinking something with it while you're smoking it. Probably not the best cigar to smoke with coffee. What I found with cigars like this that like to dry out your palate a little bit, make you kind of go like this or want to drink something, I typically try to steer away from coffee because that tends to dry out my palate a little bit more, even though it's a good cleanser. I would probably go with something like a sparkling water or something in this particular case with this cigar. I could also just be dehydrated from moving a bunch of boxes around back here in the warehouse yesterday. Who knows? I got to get some stuff done. I got to get ready for this poker event that we're doing at the end of this week, and I got to get some other stuff done today before Kevin pops in. So with that, guys, that's been my review of the Patina Habano and a short introduction to 3 of the other core lineup cigars that they have. The Connecticut, the Maduro, probably my personal favorite in the lineup, obviously. The newest one, the Sumatra, very good cigar, probably the fullest of the mix, to be honest. And then the Habano. Big fan of Patina cigars. Big fan of everything from the design, the way they look, to the consistency and the quality of the cigars, to the complexity and the flavor notes that you get out of them. Huge fan of Patina cigars. Drop a comment below. Have you guys tried Patina cigars? Did you guys enjoy them? And which one was your favorite? Which one didn't you like? Drop a comment below. And as always, guys, I've been JB with the Zeal Cigar Review. Thanks for watching.